Is Classically Christian coming back at you with a new video, and I am joined here today by my grandma.
Hi.
She thinks you're right here, so she has to speak as loud as possible into the camera. Hi.
Oh well, okay.
But we're gonna be reviewing Survivor. This is something that we did back in season 41. We were
Yeah.
recapping
hmm
where Erica ended up winning that season. You remember
I do.
that one?
I do.
Um, so we both have been out of it for a little while, but as of recent, in the last like month or so, we've been getting caught up a little bit on Survivor, and so we're watching this season now. You have do you have any favorite characters or favorite players on the show this season?
I like Danny. I think the best so far. I like that he loves his little daughter,
Uh huh.
and he's smart, and he did the best switcheroony thing on that
The
on
yeah,
that
the idol.
idol.
Yeah,
No, he
we
just
can talk about that a little
yeah
bit too. Yeah.
he did that really well, and I like him. Um, yeah, I'd have to say him. He'd be my favorite. I
Yes.
don't even know if I have a second favorite, but he's my favorite.
I agree with you. I think that Danny is my favorite right now. I think I relate to him a little bit with the wrestling, and he does the
Yeah, yeah,
jujitsu and everything. So I think that's a part of it. And then what else? Oh, he's a firefighter too, so he's
yeah,
very he's very physical, and he seems very smart because like you mentioned, he was
yeah.
able to
He's
pull off
a
doing
smart
that
guy.
that idol switch. Um, So we're gonna kind of skip past the first four episodes and just get into this fifth episode that we just went over and watched. In this episode, we kind of come back into it. Episode 5, we're on the aftermath of the last Tika tribal council, where they ended up uh, voting out Sarah.
Sarah, right?
Yeah, they got Sarah out because Carolyn ended up siding with Josh, and Josh uses his immunity idol. So now they're down to 3.
Yeah, that
Uh,
there's nothing left.
they look
Yeah,
kind of pathetic,
yeah,
honestly.
kind of sad.
In their tribe, they don't really have a lot going on, and you look at them, and they don't look physically imposing. So you kind
No,
of wonder, how are they going to get any further from here?
yeah, you're right. You're right about that for sure. Maybe Josh looks like he's physically fit,
Yeah,
pretty physically fit, but Yam Yam and well, Carolyn maybe, but she's just so flighty. No
I
offense
know
to her, but
that's your second favorite character right there, isn't it,
well, she's a
Carolyn?
character. She's if you want to just say character, she's my favorite character. She's an odd duck. She really is.
No, I agree with you, Carolyn, that she does tend to be a little bit flighty. Um, at the same time, I almost feel like we've never seen a character like her
No,
on Survivor,
she's
because
unique. That's
and what I mean by that too is the fact that she has no switch where she can compartmentalize anything or keep anything inside her head. She's gonna let you know exactly how she's feeling at every
yeah,
moment.
yeah. She's she's something really.
And so then after that, I think we briefly went over to that tribe, the Ratu tribe,
hmm
where we kind of got to see Matthew, who's been struggling with that shoulder of his.
Yeah, poor guy. Well, he did a stupid thing.
That was foolish. I
Yeah.
agree.
I mean, come on.
Who in the first, like, what was he there? Like not
Two
even a
days. It
day.
was the second day he did
And
that.
he decided to he decided to climb up that cliff, and then he fell down. I mean,
Yeah,
you
fella.
get you poke a bear, and
Yeah, there it goes.
it scratches you. It might do worse. Uh,
Yeah. And then there's the lovebirds. They're on what team are
there
they
is
on?
so that yeah. So we had, and then we had like another moment on that the Ratu with Kane and what's it, Carson, where they're kind of like
Yeah,
nerding out with each
yeah.
other.
All happy about the Jedi and all. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was just a little brief point that we spent on them. Not a lot of screen time for their tribe as a whole.
No, not at all.
And that
You didn't even see. Can't think of her name. Um, the girl with the glasses.
yeah, we had to look up her name. It was Heidi.
Heidi. You
Yeah.
didn't even see her at
We didn't
all.
even she didn't get any confessionals at all. But then we can go over now to the last tribe that they highlighted was Soka,
So
which does have our favorite Danny on there, but then like you were mentioning the Lovebirds.
yeah,
If you want to talk about that a little bit.
Matt and Carolyn. No, Matt and Franny.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah,
Matt and
they're
Franny.
just they're kind of cute, I guess. Yeah, she's going to be pleased as punch if something really comes of
Please
this. I
says
can tell
punch,
you, she
yeah.
says, "I'll be pleased as punch if he, asks me out after this is all over." He'll, he'll,
Yeah, they are cute, and
yeah.
it's like I hope it works out for them too. Um, but in games like this, it's never usually a good idea to have like a showmance or anything.
No,
To be
yeah,
linked that closely with somebody.
they
Um,
just really hit it off right away.
I guess so. I mean, it hasn't hindered them up to this point.
No, no,
Although they haven't really had to face Tribal that much.
no.
They're a
It's
strong team.
that the other team faced Tribal. There
it's
is no
Tika
team
going all the
left.
time, so they don't
They're
even have to
facing
worry about
another
it.
Tribal after this during this episode because they lost again.
Yeah, we were about to get
Yeah.
right into that, into the
Mhm.
immunity challenge. Um, I was gonna say that Matt on that tribe is the one who fell victim to Danny's trap that he played,
Yes.
where he left behind that fake idol, that move that we were mentioning earlier. So, um, yeah, Matt. He seems like book smart, but I'm not necessarily convinced on his social or street smarts. At
Yeah.
least up to this point in this game, he hasn't really done anything to display like his savvy
Yeah.
in
No, not
in
at
this
all.
type of area.
Not at all.
So yeah, let's get to the challenge where they had all those little
Yeah.
parts to do, and then ended up with the little balls going in the holes.
Yeah, and that the team with the three band team didn't look too bad in the beginning of it. I mean, they were kind of well, everybody was kind of neck and neck at the very beginning,
Yeah.
and then the real challenge came with the mazes, balls, getting balls in the hole and getting say, and didn't have it. It was Yam Yam and what's his face
And Josh
and
that
Josh,
were
yeah,
working on it. Yeah.
and Carolyn was just sitting there looking disgusted, not really cheering them on or anything,
And
just
then,
just standing there looking disgusted.
but you have to think their team was already fractured. You have three people there, and none of them trust each other.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. It
It,
really
it
is.
was, yeah. They were about to get eliminated off of the face of the earth
Hmm.
there. Because like you said, they lost. And that challenge, though, at least the balls part of it, it looks like it takes so much focus.
Yeah, what's his name was really good at it. He was good at it the last time.
Brandon,
Brandon,
Brandon
very
from
good at
yeah,
that. That's his strong point there. I mean, he's strong and he's
he's a big
very
guy.
physical.
I
Yeah,
think he was a NFL player.
yeah.
Yeah.
He but he's really good with those mates.
So then they end up losing that Tika, you said, and so now Tika they're gonna have to face Tribal, but before they do that, each of the teams they have to send one of their players to go off to that little island where they all
Yes.
convene,
Yeah.
and then they either get an advantage or something else
Hmm.
sometimes. In this case, it ended up being something else where they got
Nice little lunch.
a little meal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were really going. Carolyn was really going at it.
she
Didn't even
was.
stop to talk. She just kept feeding her face.
Yeah, exactly.
She had a chance to eat, and she took
She
it.
was taking it, but
Yeah.
at the same time, she was so mad that the guys were just kind of bonding with each other.
Yeah, and leaving her out, but she didn't put anything into it. Yet, what does she expect?
He
You know,
showed
she's
him.
just filling up her face there. But you know, I would too if I was there, like, you know, under
Yeah,
those
yeah.
circumstances. But
So we had that little meeting. They kind of exchanged information with each other. I think it clued some people in on like what was really going on at these islands, because it's
yeah,
like I think one of them had been already to the, or maybe they hadn't, but they knew about what happened at the island, and so they figured out, oh, maybe somebody's lying about what they said happened on there.
yeah, that's possible. Yeah,
So we get to Tika, and it's the liberation, and while Carolyn was gone, Josh and Yam Yam, even before the challenge, really, were kind of plotting. They were saying, like, let's maybe get Carolyn out instead. They had
yeah.
that brief moment where they were like kind of like bonding about coming out and
Hmm.
everything, and so they're gonna go ahead and want to take out Carolyn, and to kind of remain in power, Josh pulls out a thing where he says, "Well, I got a second idol to Jam Jam," and when he does that, he shows him a note, but he doesn't show him the idol.
But Carolyn was there at the time
No, no,
because she.
no, no.
Oh,
That's a little bit later.
oh,
It's
okay,
a little bit
okay,
later. I
all
don't
right.
want to into that. But yeah, um,
Just showed him the note.
he showed him the note, but he didn't show him the idol because he makes the idol
Yeah.
out of the tree mail.
Mhm.
And it's not until Carolyn comes back where Josh says again, "I'm not going home because I have an idol." That's
Yeah.
when Carolyn is like, "Well, did you see the idol?" Jeremy's like, "He showed me the note," and then that's the point.
No,
You
and
can,
she saw the note and she said, "Well, that's the same note you had the last time."
yeah, like, did he think I wasn't paying attention? And that was kind of like you felt the secondhand embarrassment for Josh in that
Yeah,
moment.
yeah. Oh
You're like,
boy, he
and
was.
Jam
That was
Jam's
a.
like, "Is this the beats from the tree mail?" His whole thing was blown up at that
Yeah,
point, and I honestly believe he was getting ready to go home.
yeah. He would have been. He would have been definitely
I
didn't
think
want
they
to
were
go
about
home.
to vote him out,
Yeah,
but then the thing that we go back to the beginning of the episode where Matt's shoulder's been bothering him,
yeah,
and they talk to him again because he sat out of the last challenge. Turns out he has to go home. So all three of them end up surviving that somehow. It's like they have 9 lives.
yeah.
All three of them on that tribe. And
Because they didn't have to go to tribal council because the guy got home.
yeah, so they didn't have a tribal at all. And now we're getting headed to the merge.
Yeah, that's right. That's
That's gonna
right.
be the
That's a
next
coming
episode.
attraction. So that's cool.
What was your you know, who do you think is like in the best position going forward? I know you said you're a fan of Danny.
He's smart. If he stays smart and plays the game right, I think he has a good chance. Um, it's hard to say. I mean, it's kind of still to me early in the game, but he's a strong contender. I think maybe that Jamie, that teacher Jamie, is a strong contender. Uh, I don't know. I guess that's it for me. Right now, I can't think of anyone else that comes off very strong. And I would have put Matt in there, but his arm is bad. He was pretty
He
strong
was
too.
good. I think he
He
would
was
have.
a good
I think
player.
he could have gotten very
It's
far.
too bad he hurt himself, but
He
that's what
as he did
happens.
the same thing as Danny. He made that fake idol.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
found
He did it. He did it well, but he didn't do it near as
not
well.
quite as
Danny
Danny.
and Danny
Danny
went.
did a pretty good job with
I don't know what he was running like a wolf or something after he
it.
did. He
He
was
did
all
like a little
excited. That was
like
so
a
cool.
stunt,
Yeah,
roll forward roll.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree with you to an extent. I think that it's still too early. And then once we get to the merge, it's a whole new game
yeah,
because
yeah.
everybody's together now. I think people that are in a good position are kind of the ones who have been quiet up to this point.
Oh, excuse me.
So people like Jamie, who isn't necessarily on anybody's radar, or even maybe a Heidi, they could be seen as easy vote outs. But in this game, those easy vote outs tend to get further along
Yeah.
because people say,
It's like
"Oh,
Heidi. You don't
nobody's
hear anything from
haven't
her.
nothing this episode,
Hardly.
yeah,
Yeah.
or
Hardly at
anything
all.
through the season,
Yeah.
really, yeah."
So very little. So that maybe that's how she's playing her game, which might be very smart
I
to get
think
her.
um I'll be interested to see how those three integrate into the other people
Yeah.
that Tika tribe. I have a feeling for some reason that Carolyn and Jam Jam are gonna stick together.
Yeah, I think so too.
Josh is kind of a free agent. I don't know where he'll go. Um, I always think of the bigger guys as being possible threats to go home early, like Brandon and
Brandon.
even Danny. I think that they're like, you see them and you want to vote them out. And there's also still a big target, in my opinion, even though they haven't faced anything yet, on the backs of Franny and Matt, who are seen as a couple in this game.
Yeah.
And I think that one of them is going to get split up sooner rather than
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. I think you might be right about that. So time will tell. We'll find out. When does it come on?
It's Wednesdays.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. This
So
is
there'll
your
be
Survivor reminder. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Making sure to tune in to Survivor.
give the old lady
Oh, no, I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to help
Yeah,
you
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. You're being condescending.
No, I wasn't being condescending.
That's okay though. I love you anyway.
I wasn't meaning it that way. But yeah. So that's gonna do it for
Okay.
this recap of Survivor for Sean and Grandma. Episode 5. We'll be coming at you with episode 6 after this week's episode airs. We're gonna record it sometime. And any final thoughts?
Oh, I'm just looking forward to see what happens with the merge. That
Yeah,
should be fun.
it should be.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.